Hey there, hi there, Leos. It's me, Priscilla B, and welcome to your energetic upgrade, spiritual upgrades, leveling up, tarot reading. So, yeah, I haven't really been able to narrow down just one definitive way of explaining this reading. But basically, it's like energetic upgrades, okay? So, getting your chakras into alignment, meditating on tarot, and a friend of mine actually recommended that I read this book, Meditations on the Tarot. So, I'm going to pretty much be like comparing the texts of this book with the texts of my other books. So I have, for instance, the Tarot Guidebook, and this little book came with my deck of cards that I'm going to be using, um, Eternal Arcana, okay? And I'm only going to be using Major Arcana cards because that is what the author of this book did when analyzing tarot. He just focused on the Major Arcana and then all that into this big book, right? So, not even the whole deck. So, yay. And then we have Akasha Oracle, Unlock Wisdom from Previous Lives. And I just felt really drawn to this Oracle deck and felt like it was appropriate to draw a card for you. And I did. And this card is Forgiveness, Purple Hyacinth. And we have a woman in a purple pinkish robe with her hand on this man's head. Okay, and the word forgiveness, and the flower purple hyacinth. And I'm going to tell you the spiritual meaning of the purple hyacinth. And let's see here. Consider this like your flower for the um, for the month, Leo, or yeah, just for July, right? Let's say end of June, July. So the spiritual meaning of the purple hyacinth. The purple hyacinth is a flower rich in symbolism, blending emotional depth, spiritual growth, and renewal. In the language of flowers, it is often associated with apology, forgiveness, and heartfelt regret, making it a forgive me symbol that carries dignity and respect. The purple hue amplifies its meaning, linking it to royalty, prestige, and spiritual insight, while its fragrance and clustered blooms connect inner wisdom, intuition, and higher consciousness. Spiritual upgrades. Let's go. Forgiveness and reconciliation. Purple hyacinths are classic. I'm sorry gestures symbolizing remorse, the desire to mend relationships, and the honoring of others without loudness. Grief and remembrance, they represent love that still hurts, honoring memories and the quiet process of healing after loss. Spiritual awakening, purple is tied to the third eye chakra, intuition, wisdom, and the crown chakra, higher consciousness, making the hyacinth a symbol of inner reflection, enlightenment, and soul level transformation. Purification and rebirth. In spiritual traditions, they are linked to emotional purification, releasing sorrow and transformation through pain. Renewal and spring energy. As a fragrant spring bloom, it symbolizes new beginnings, hope, and the return of vitality after hardship. Myth and cultural associations. In Greek mythology, the hyacinth is linked to Apollo in the story of the young prince Hyacinthus, whose death transformed into the flower symbolizing rebirth and renewal. Historically, purple hyacinths were used in royal settings, reflecting their association with elegance, nobility, and good fortune. Emotional and spiritual tone. The purple hyacinth's message is calm, sincere, and meaningful, not flashy or purely romantic. It invites quiet transformation, emotional honesty, and a respectful connection with others. Spiritual use, meditation, and aromatherapy. Its scent is calming, often used in meditation or yoga to promote relaxation and spiritual focus. Symbolic gestures, Gifting purple hyacinths can express deep respect, regret, or desire for reconciliation. Dream interpretation. In dreams, they may point to healing, closure, and inner growth. In essence, the purple hyacinth is a flower of emotional honesty, spiritual insight, and renewal, bridging the human heart with the higher self. It's a reminder that even in sorrow, there is dignity, and that transformation can bloom from within. Okay, Leo. So, that being said, let's get into your chakra reading. And for that, I'm going to be using this Darkwood Tarot book that has a great energetic chakra spread for you. So, the energetic chakra spread. This spread should be done as a meditation and visualization along with a card reading. Shuffle and place 7 cards before you face down. Proceed to interpret each card. As you turn each card, imagine that chakra opening and spinning in your body while simultaneously focusing on the card's message. So, at the root base of spine is your security, and that's number 1. And we have for you. Oh, I was looking for that. Okay. We have the Empress, Leo, and the number 3, and the Empress. Okay. So let's take a look here at this Empress card. I'll read for you. Let me see here. I guess I'll just read what this author of this book wrote. Okay. On the Empress card. And it says here, "Dear unknown friend, the third arcanum, the Empress, is that of sacred magic. Now there are 3 kinds of magic. Magic where the magician is the instrument of divine power. This is sacred magic. Magic where the magician himself is the source of magical operation. This is personal magic. Lastly, magic where the magician is the instrument of elemental forces or other unconscious forces. This is sorcery." The teaching of the third arcanum, in view of the context of the card, and its place between the second and fourth arcana, refers to sacred or divine magic. All magic, including sorcery, is the putting into practice of this, that the subtle rules, the dense force matter consciousness force, and the superconsciousness or divine consciousnesses. It is this latter rulership that the Empress symbolizes. Her crown, scepter, and shield, coat of arms, are the 3 instruments of the exercise of this power. The crown head indicates the power of the divine over consciousness. The right arm, according to the viewer of the card, which bears a scepter topped by cross mounted on a globe of gold, represents the power of consciousness over force, and the left arm, which carries a shield bearing an eagle, signifies the power of energy over matter, or the volatile over the gross. The crown is the divine authoritarian of magic. It is only magic crowned from above, which is not usurpatory. It is by virtue of the scepter that she is not impotent. The shield bearing the eagle shows the aim of magical power. It is the emblem in its motto, which reads, "Liberation in order to ascend." And the steady throne on which the Empress is seated symbolizes the indisputable and inalienable place which belongs to magic and spiritual, psychic, and natural life. Thanks to divine authoritarian, or the crown, to the reality of her power, or the scepter, and to that which she has her objective, or the shield. This is the role of magic in the world. Let us now consider in a more thorough way the crown, the scepter, the shield, or coat of arms, and the throne of the Empress, understood as the divine legitimacy, the power, the objective, and the role of magic. So, the Empress pretty much, it says here, represents the science of love, is the scepter of the Empress, which represents the means by which the aim of magic is attended, the accelerated evolution of living forces of nature. Okay, so I think the author is really saying like the Empress is a force of nature, and also like what she practices is the science of love. Studying it, I feel like understanding what it means, and what it means, I feel like for you, Leo, is forgiveness. I feel like only a mother, right, can like, or I mean, not, I don't know your mom, obviously, but I feel like the energy of the Empress and of a divine, loving mother is to forgive. Um, like just like endless forgiveness. Like boundaries are important. I just think that it's like the mother's love to forgive, you know? Okay, and teach us the evolution of living forces of nature. Yeah, it's like the mother Empress archetype, like the archetype of the Empress is the mother, so she's like the creator of life, the creator of nature, and that she does this through the act of love, through studying what, like what, who, where, when, why, how, the components of what makes love. And that's like, there's a science to that, the study of it, what it means. The big 4-letter word. Okay, so now we go into sacral, your sexuality. So yeah, we're going somewhere new and different. Okay, we have the magician. Wow. Okay, Leo. So that's interesting. Okay. Let's see. What does this book say about the Empress and the Magician? Let's see here. So, yeah. It says here the Empress is love, fertility, creativity. The Empress rests in a rich forest surrounded by Mother Earth. The symbol of Venus sits at her side, showing her connection to love and fertility. Her crown of 12 stars represents the signs of the zodiac. Connect with your nurturing femininity and enjoy the beauty of life. You may also be experiencing a burst of creativity. Open yourself up to love. This can also mean loving yourself. A child or pregnancy may be on the way. Your career may be at a high point. This could also mean a strong mentor in the workplace. That person could be you. Okay. The Magician, manifestation, potential. Okay. With one hand pointed towards the heavens and one pointed toward the earth, the magician wields all 4 suits of the tarot. He has all the tools he needs, and his potential is limitless. You have everything you need to achieve your goals. This is the time for action. Believe in yourself and bring your dreams to life. You can manifest a relationship you desire, whether it's starting a new one or reinvigorating an existing one. You have all the skills to take your career to a new level. Harness your determination and take the steps to make it happen. All right. Magic is the science of love. The magician. You need the magician energy to create love, right? You need science, right? The magician, and so you can create this. So I feel like you're really are expanding your toolbox. Like you are really like, okay, I thought maybe I had everything I needed. I don't know. I feel like also, Leo, I feel like you kind of always in the back of your mind. Hello. Okay, Leo. So let's move to your solar plexus, your power. We have the devil. Wow. Okay, Leo. You're not messing around here, okay? You are being like dead ass. You're being like so serious right now about this spiritual upgrade. I feel like you're taking it so, like you're taking your upgrade very seriously. You're definitely taking charge for sure. Okay, let's take a look here at this devil energy. Okay. So the devil, addiction, materialism, and lust, release, independence, freedom. The devil shows Baphomet perched on a pedestal with a reverse pentacle over his head. Two people are chained to the pedestal, although their collars are loose and could be easily removed. This card is a warning against unhealthy habits and materialism. It may not be easy, but the power is with you to remove these chains. Be careful not to perpetrate or fall into toxic relationships. While there are no inherent issues with hedonism, all parties must be on the same page. You may be feeling trapped or be developing an unhappy lust for money and power. See how you can change your circumstances. You may soon be breaking free of your chains. However, stay vigilant to avoid falling back into old habits. Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is shadow work. I also feel like you witness others in their shadow work. Like you can see them doing shadow work. I feel like you're like a witness here to something. I don't know why I'm getting that. No. Heart, your empathy. We have the Hierophant. So we have like a guru, spiritual leader. Throat, your speech. We have the Tower. Wow, that's interesting. Okay. And then for your intuition, your third eye, we have the Lovers. Leo. Okay. For the Crown, we have your higher self. Wow. And look, even here, the final card, Strength. This is like your 8th card. And it's number 8. This is like your bonus card. Okay. This is really interesting. I really want to know what this author said about the devil, because this is one of those books where I'm sure the devil is discussed in detail. The devil is in the details, right? So that's saying. Okay, let's go here. And this is your power. The devil. Wow. Dear unknown friend, it is with Liz still being impressed by the arcanum of inspiration, with the winged entity pouring living water from one vase to another, that we find ourselves confronted by another winged entity holding a taper torch above two beings bound to a pedestal, on which he is standing upright. This is the acronym of counter inspiration, to which we now have to proceed. And if the 14th acronym introduced us to the mystery of the tears and the temperance of inspiration, the 15th acronym of the tarot will introduce us to the secrets of the electrical fire and the intoxication of counter-inspiration. This is further chapter in the drama of the destiny of the divine image and likeness, which we are now obliged to read. But before we begin the meditation on the arcanum of counter-inspiration, we must take account of the intrinsic difference between meditation on the other arcana and the meditation on the arcanum the devil. It is as follows. As it is a matter in the tarot of a series of spiritual or hermetic exercises, as on the other hand, every spiritual exercise tends to lead to the identification of the mediant with the subject of meditation, to an act of intuition, the 15th arcanum of the tarot. Insofar as it is a spiritual exercise, must not lead to an experience of identification of the mediant with the subject of meditation. One should not arrive at an intuition of evil, since intuition is identification and identification is communion. Okay. All right. So what I'm sensing from this here is that your intuition falls into your third eye chakra. That falls under the Lovers was your third eye. This was your intuition. So that's interesting though, because it's like the complete opposite of the devil. The devil is supposed to like chain you to like toxic relationships and tie you to like a sense of immorality. Um, the Lovers is supposed to be like that angelic Romeo and Juliet, like star-crossed lovers, soulmates. Let's see what the little book says here on the Lovers. So I feel like you aren't using your power in your intuition of like the realm of control or manipulation, which is really good. I feel like you're channeling it more into, you know, something to do with work or career or just like overall like a sense of not conforming or not it's going to sound ironic, but I feel like you're not masking your true self. And as I say that, I feel like there's some irony in that. But I do sense that you aren't letting your intuition be misguided by your shadow. Like instead you're channeling your shadow into like creative artistic pursuits or like connection with others. I feel like you're staying away from toxicity and toxic energies in regards to like having power or control over others. This is much more this is solar plexus, yeah. Whereas your third eye, your intuition, is being used for the Lovers. And that's a really good place to be though, because like you do want to trust your intuition when it comes to relationships, ideals, choices. Of course, this is in the sphere of like who you choose to be intimate with. Okay. A man and a woman stand in the Garden of Eden. The angel Raphael blesses them while also representing a union with the divine. On a personal level, this card means developing your own system of beliefs. It also represents making a choice between two opposing factions. The Lovers point to a strong and mutual relationship. As the Lovers are naked, be honest and bear your emotions. A beneficial business partnership may be at hand. It could also mean love in the workplace, since this card also represents choice. Be careful of the implications of a workplace romance. Yeah. And that's where I feel like you're not letting your work like get in the way of like how you feel about somebody. I think if anything, you're like, you guys could like share very similar like styles of work, but I feel like you keep your business like you're not like overlapping it. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not like forcing someone into like I don't know what, like imagine a couple is like they both have similar interests, and then like one of the people in the partnership says, okay, well, if you're looking for work, you should like work in my office. And like that can get messy really quickly and really fast, right? So you guys are both like mature enough to realize like that's probably not such a good idea, you know? So that's like even if your schedules like overlap or something like that or don't align perfectly, you can still like respect each other's like boundaries. That's the other thing too, is like intuition really teaches us a lot about boundaries, whereas the devil in the shadow teaches us about boundaries as well, but it's much more rooted in you're not letting your shadow and your ego get in the way of creating healthy connections. I mean, we all have the power to do that, but it's like how you use that power, right? With great power comes great responsibility. From Spider-Man, right? Uncle Ben. Says that just Peter Parker. Okay, so let's focus now on your heart and your empathy. And we have the Hierophant, okay, and we have this like spiritual guru with like two like monk monks behind him or something. I don't know. I'm just gonna call them monks or whatever. So your empathy and your heart, the Hierophant. I feel like you're taking a very spiritual approach to your heart chakra right now. Okay. Learning and tradition. Okay. A Hierophant is someone who interprets sacred mysteries and the arcana. Aren't we doing that, Leo? Like, literally. Oh my god. Okay. Here he is adorned with religious robes and artifacts as he preaches to two followers. While the High Priestess utilizes her intuition to connect with the divine, the Hierophant relies on his studies. There is always something new to be learned. Set aside time to expand your knowledge. Honor age-old traditions. You may be taking on more traditional roles in the relationship. It could also point to more definition or structure in a relationship. Ensure you are staying up to date with industry. You may find a mentor or become a mentor. Yeah. I feel like you are going against the status quo. I feel like you're a bit of a outsider, like you're somebody who doesn't live on like the norms of society. I mean, we all have that like sort of role we have to play, or that identity that we have to honor and respect, and it is a huge part of ourselves and our aspect of ourselves. We also have this other part that's really wants to like know more and understand more and almost like test our beliefs or test what we are taught or told. Yeah, I mean, obviously you have to be careful with that. There has to be like mutual understanding, mutual respect between all parties involved. I feel like again, there's like this sense of like respecting boundaries or establishing rules, establishing boundaries, that sort of thing, because we all are willing to teach others what we know. We also have to protect like how we share that information or why we're sharing that information, so it's not to mislead or misguide anybody. I feel like you're really though like energetically you're like empathy is you've experienced the same challenge, situation, hardship, heartbreak, negative energy, very similar. And you sense another person's energy as similar energy that they felt. And like two pieces fitting together. Like you're just like both energetically in very similar places. You have like there's like various different details, but the energy still feels the same. Very similar energy. Empathy. So the Tower. So your speech, we have the Tower. Okay, Leo. So that's interesting. Okay. Okay, the Tower. 16. Upheaval, sudden change. Lightning strikes at the top of the tower, which represents divine illumination, destroying the crown of the ego. Two figures leap from the burning building to an uncertain fate. The universe is striking down an unstable foundation to build something greater. Be prepared for massive change, which includes growing pains. Your relationship may be functioning on a shaky pretense and is no longer serving you. Make changes to ensure your needs are met. There may be upheaval at work, whether it's layoffs or increased responsibilities. The temporary chaos will lead to growth in your career. Change is near, but you are still relying on old ways. Trust that a new foundation will take you to new heights. Yeah. this is why this is what you're speaking about. Like, you might not literally be speaking, but you're definitely expressing your feelings in a very tower-like way. Okay, so in other words, you're basically expressing this energetic force of like, like, it's almost like an aha moment. It's like you suddenly realize what has been missing and why the foundation was never stable to begin with, and now it's time to start over and start building a new, more solid, grounded foundation in something that you truly feel like connected with, that's more positive and more healthy, because you definitely, that's that transformation. Okay, Leo, let's take a look at your third eye, your intuition. We have the Lover's card, okay? And I feel like that overlaps with forgiveness. So that's interesting. The Lovers, okay. Didn't I read the Lovers already? Yeah. Okay, so your highest self, okay, we have the Chariot. And this is willpower, determination, and direction. A warrior drives a chariot underneath a canopy of stars. Though the sphinxes pulling the chariot look in different directions, it is the warrior who decides which way they will go. It is through the strength of will that you will accomplish your goals. Outside forces may pull you in different directions, but focus on the path ahead. Be clear about what you want and stay true to yourself. Take action to build that relationship that is right for you. Use your determination to drive your career. Steer clear of office politics or other distractions. Your determination may have become an obsession and it's time to reassess. On the other hand, it could signal a lack of focus or loss of control. Recalibrate opposing forces to get back on track. Wow. Yeah. I mean, obviously, like, I feel like you have a lot of focus and determination when it comes to like how you want your life to be, or what you want your life to look like. And I think, I mean, I think, I feel and think that your approach to your higher self, you're like headed straight you're headed straight like toward yourself, like your true authentic self, Leo. And while you can go in different directions, like while you can maybe have this identity of like what everyone else wants you to be or how everyone else thinks you should be, you have this other part of yourself is how you actually are, how you actually feel. And you are the leader here. You are the one with the direction. You are the one who is taking charge here. And I feel like with the Lovers there and the Devil there, it's like I feel like you have this, like, this, almost like this desire to, like, create this steady balance and flow of energy that is taking you right to yourself. This is your card for the Major Arcana. So it's like once everything is in alignment, once all your chakras are aligned, you are aligned with your most truest, most authentic self. The Strength card. Let's see. Inner strength, resilience. In strength is the woman's inner strength, not her physical power, that gently closes the lion's jaws. She demonstrates courage by taming the lion unarmed and wearing only a gown. Tap into your inner strength and resilience to overcome obstacles. Gain control through patience and compassion rather than outward force. Use empathy to nourish the relationship. Rein in any impulsive emotions and tackle obstacles with a sense of calm. Be confident in your abilities. Show how capable you are without letting your emotions take over. Yeah, I mean, that's everything into alignment here. Your power, the devil energy, that I felt was like a focal point for your career stuff. Like, that's where you draw a lot of power from, like inner power you feel from your work. Um, I also think it's like you're creating this magic so that you can have more love in your life, you can have more security in your life. Um, your heart is very tied to having empathy, and you feel it's like a spiritual energy, a spiritual guide. You know, it's like a higher like sense of, I don't know, like a higher consciousness. It's like telling you like this is where you channel your empathy here, where your heart is. Um, and that I feel like balances the devil energy, right? Because you want to feel powerful, you want to feel strong and confident. You also want to not be like overpowering and manipulative. You know, there's a sense of like teaching others or learning from others' experiences, being open to like other points of view, other perspectives. The tower, this is where you speak from, this is where you express yourself, where you feel the most like assertive and you know, speaking your truth, telling your story. The third eye, your intuition, you're definitely drawing from the Lover's card, which is like partnerships and like 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 trusting yourself and being able to express yourself through a partnership, through an intimacy, through physical touch is important to you. It's like if you can trust how you feel around a lover and express that self around a certain lover, if they make you feel like you can trust yourself around them, like there's no second guessing, there's no being afraid of like who you are and how you like to express yourself. And then the Chariot is, you know, this is your crown, this is your highest self, this is you charging ahead and taking control, taking those reins, like the Strength card tells us. It tells us that um, it says rein in any impulsive emotions. Yeah, exactly. So you might have an impulse to do something rash or something hasty, but like at the same time, you're like, if I pull it back a little bit, this will actually bring out my more like my me. This is will actually bring out who I am more. This will like reveal my truer self, my higher self, because you're not being impulsive. You're thinking things through. You're taking your time. That's what, you know, meditation is about. It's about reining in that impulsiveness that just wants to go, 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 and actually making a plan, making, you know, like leading with by example, having a purpose. This way, energetically, you're not like misaligning yourself with anything. You're actually aligning yourself with what you truly do want. Okay? And you have great strength, great courage here. So let's take a look at the Strength card. Strength. Oh, interesting. Hmm. There is a, okay, so it doesn't say strength on here. It says force. I'm not sure if that's what they meant by strength. 269. That's interesting. You can see here in the contents, it's like it doesn't have the strength card. It just says force. 269. Yeah, I feel like you don't want to force anything. You know, you want things to just like naturally evolve and naturally. And you just want everything to feel as like natural as possible. I love that though. Like that's really what it means to be like aligned with your higher self. 269. Okay. Okay, yeah, this is force. So they rewrote it as force instead of strength, which is really interesting. Um, this thing is the strongest of all powers, the force of all forces. For it overcometh every subtle thing, and doth penetrate every solid substance. All right. Dear unknown friend, in the preceding letter, the transformation of fallen animality into holy animality was discussed, where the latter is spontaneous obedience to God, without the hindrance of reflection, doubt, or motives of interest. Such obedience is basically an instinct. This is why holy animality is represented in the Hermetic tradition, in the vision of Ezekiel and the Apocalypse of St. John, and in Christian iconography by four holy animals whose synthesis, the Sphinx, is divine instinctivity, or the kingdom of God in and through the unconscious. For God reigns, he is worshipped, obeyed, and loved, not only through explicit theologies and philosophies, or through explicit prayer, meditation, and cult acts, but also in general through the hunger and thirst for righteousness, for truth, and for beauty, and likewise through each act of generosity and every expression of respect, admiration, and adoration. Yes, the world is full of implicit religion and the inspired saints and poets who say that the birds praise God when they sing are in no way mistaken, because it is their tiny life itself which stings the great life and makes heard through its countless variations the same news which is as old as the world and new as the day. Life lives and vibrates in me. What homage to the source of life is expressed by these small streams of life, the birds which sing. Okay. Yeah, it really, it's almost like, I'm going to read you this, part of the text here. Before the throne, there is, as it were, a sea of glass, like crystal, and round the throne on each side of the throne are four living creatures, full of eyes in front and behind. The first living creature like a lion, the second living creature like an ox, the third living creature with the face of a man, and the fourth living creature like a flying eagle. And the four living creatures, each of them with 6 wings, are full of eyes all round and within. And day and night they never cease to sing, Holy, holy, holy is the Lord God Almighty, who was and is to come. Wow. Okay. I feel like the author is kind of like pretty much saying that like this divine consciousness, this energy, which a lot of people use the term God to describe this giant energetic force living up in up in heaven, like a celestial being, basically. Okay, yeah. So, um, hmm. I think that the author is pretty much saying that like a force of nature, such as like God, right? The term can be used to describe like a godlike experience, right? Or out of body experience. Like these are the type of energy, like this is the type of energy where you feel like how could everything align in such a way with such a great force of possibility that like it all, like everything makes sense, right? And you have to have a name for that. Okay, you have to have something to describe it, a term to describe it. Like you have to label it. I mean, if you don't label it, like you're not, it's hard to explain. Um, and that's where you get, like the author used the word force, like a great force. That's how he describes like this god-like energy that's so powerful and so strong. And in tarot, you have the lion as the great strength, right? The animal that represents strength. Leo, that happens to be your card. Um, and that happens to be like the Leo is the symbol of in astrology, the lion. So Leo means the lion. So I feel like you are starting to see like how powerful you are, how strong you are, how your energy affects, even just seeing like this woman like caressing the lion's head, right? It's that divine feminine energy. It's that gentle um presence of like the Empress, for example, right? It's love, I feel like, for you, Leo. It's you loving yourself in a way that feels so natural and nurturing, um, like a mother's love, for example, or a woman's love, for example, or just that divine essence. And like, because lion, this is obviously a male lion, this is obviously masculine here. You know, it takes a lot to like, think of like Lion King. But like it takes a lot for a ruler to rule his kingdom with pride and great strength. And even Mufasa um, had his wife, right? I think, well, you know, we nature, there's a lot of lionesses, okay? But I mean, there was the main, I don't know what to say. She was the mother of Simba. Okay, sorry. That was like I accidentally pushed play to this song I was listening to. Okay. Um yeah. It's a Sarabi. I think that's her name. So yeah, I mean, it's interesting, I think. And also you have the lovers and you have forgiveness. You might be asking for a woman's forgiveness, or you might just be feeling like that energetic flow of like there's masculine energy that's very strong. There's feminine energy that is very loving and nurturing. Um, yeah. And I'm just going to read the strength energy card, meaning from my Darkwood Tarot book, because I think this better explains what this has to do with your chakras and also the shadow side to that. Yeah. This is the strength in the Darkwood Tarot. So obviously not God, okay, more like a goddess, more like a divine feminine um, energy. So strength is the archetype of the warrior. Universal power lies within you. The shadow witch returns to the earth and finds herself inside a stone-walled garden. She hears the hissing of a snake and the slow beating of a heartbeat drum. The garden protects a woman who hypnotizes a snake as a rose blossoms above her head in a stone wall. Strength simmers with constant power to illuminate everything. It is casualty itself. Strength is the inner reserves of power wielded in profound gestures. It is intellectual, physical, and emotional fortitude. It is exuding tenacity of character, personal responsibility, and inner confidence, no matter the external circumstance. A yogi sits in a Padmasana position and gazes at the nature of her inner strength as exemplified by the Kundalini snake appearing before her. Yoga is the alignment and movement of the physical body in the material world. Yoga poses are like tarot archetypes. They kindle inner and outer strength and spiritual prowess. Strength applies to how we use our deep inner reserves of power. Each of us is a font of energy. Do we give it away to others? Do we save enough for ourselves? Can we nurture and stoke the strength fire within us? Can we transform and transcend who we are and what we are capable of? True strength engages our ability to be flexible in the face of events and people's needs, wants, and moods. It gives us the power to react out of who we are rather than reacting out of the given situation. Strength determines how we approach each day, challenge, and blessing. The yogini's upper chakras, the energetic centers of the body, are awakened, active, and pulsating with power. Her crown chakra, located above her head, is the energetic point connecting her to the universe at large. It is portrayed as a flower budding through a concrete stone wall. Softness pushes through a seemingly impenetrable stone barrier. Her third eye chakra, located between the brows, sparkles with bindi jewelry, marking the strength of her intuition. Her throat chakra, place of strong communication, is marked with a jewel. A gem rests upon her heart chakra, where she allows her broken heart to mend, thus become even more pliable. The solar plexus, located on the belly, is marked with her moon belt. It glows with power and self-esteem. The snake is her own creation. Her radiant energy will do her bidding exactly as she directs it. Gentle control, inner wells of power, stable body, sound mind, fortitude, and unwavering sense of self, knowing when to apply pressure and when to release it. Character and resiliency, effortless action, recognizing one's power, your energetic birthright, stoking your inner fire, and transforming your reality. Dang, Leo. Okay. So I think you've got this. I mean, I really feel like you have done so much work on yourself. I think you've done a lot of light work. You've done a lot of shadow work. I feel like you are in alignment with yourself, Leo. And I feel like you're not putting this pressure on yourself. Yeah, like listen to the shadow stuff. Holding tightly to a person, place, or thing, addicted to habits that control you, your life. Using strength over adversity to define the ego and create drama. Forcing others to do things they do not want to do. Bending another's will. Yeah, exactly. Like, so I feel like for you, Leo, this is so much about like you are releasing this pressure and this need to control the outcome of your situation, of your challenges, of just life in general. You're just like, I'm gonna go with the flow and ebb of the universe, and where I end up or where I land is where I need to be, where I'm supposed to be. Okay, there is definitely this like I feel like there's definitely this like underlining desire that you really want to feel connected to someone here, but it's really important that you just feel connected to yourself. If you can feel connected to yourself and you know where you want to go energetically and where you're meant to go and meant to be, then everything else will fall into alignment. Because I don't want you to go, I really want you to stay like away from this need or desire of like codependency, because I think that at the end of the day you need to like carve out time for yourself, and I feel like when you do that everything else will fall into place where it's meant to. So yeah, like don't get your hopes up on any type of energy that might, like even with the forgiveness, like I feel like you've already granted forgiveness and you've already accepted this person um, as who they are. So you don't have to like try, you don't have to like hold your breath hoping that like things will change or whatever, because it's like everything is happening for a reason. So, and that's what's really important here, Leo. Okay, so that's my message for you, Leos. Love and light always. Take care now. Bye.